Well, good morning, happy Wednesday. So I have some interesting, this is Diane Covington, by the way. I have some interesting info to share with you. I was able to watch a podcast yesterday all about AI and ChatGPT, how to use it and all of this. But one of the things that we had an open discussion afterwards is on branding and on the impact of artificial intelligence. And so let me explain to you what I mean. So first of all, the impact is people are putting out, especially in the skincare and cosmetic industry, they're putting out, well, actually in any industry, health supplements, real estate, everything. They put out fake information. Now, sometimes it's generated, usually with ill intent, but sometimes it's just to sell more of whatever they're selling. But people are AI generating statistics. They're even AI generating pictures, before and after pictures. They're altering things. So people are starting to be a little skeptical on what they see, what they hear, right? They're not sure what's real. So my question to you is, how are you going live? And again, I'm guilty of this too, but are you going live every couple days, even if it's for 30 to 60 seconds, to be the transparent version of you, to be the best version of you? Are you doing that? And so I want to share with you a quick tip of something you could do. Father's Day is less than, which is in about 26 days, let's just say roughly 26 days. So what can you do now to have a phenomenal, and I'll do another training next week on Father's Day, but what could you do now to help you promote? Could you go on holding all three of the men's pieces and saying in literally 30 seconds, oh my gosh, come back tomorrow and I can't wait to tell you more about what we have for men, for the dude in your life, or whatever you call men, dudes or guys or whatever, for the stud in your life or whatever. And what's interesting about that is you want to be transparent. You're going to be transparent with your claims. You're going to be transparent with the product. You're going to be transparent with your message. So it's super important because 81% of people will buy with you if they trust you. That's a statistic. 81% of people will buy if they trust you. Well, how can they trust you? When you're transparent, when you share, when you are the true version of you, right? Okay, so with that said, a couple things I want to just give you a heads up on. You want to be careful not to be a different version of you, and I'll explain this in a second, when you are posting. Okay, people, I know you might laugh at this, especially if you're younger and you hear this, and you're going to say, oh, Diane, Facebook is for old people. Well, let me share with you. People are actually, when they see an ad or they see a thing you do, an infomercial on your VIP page or whatever, if they're new to you, and they don't know you and your great reputation and Mary Kay's reputation, they might go on your Facebook page just to check you out, to see, are you really real? Are you a real person? Do you have a real family? So the version of you that is on Facebook, you want your personal life, your professional life, and your family life to give off the same type of vibe, okay? So it's kind of like your branding, and I'm going to share this with you. So branding, I don't mean necessarily branding like wearing Mary Kay apparel. Yes, that is branding for Mary Kay. But I'm talking your personality is your brand. Your demeanor is your brand. Your follow-up is your brand. So I have a friend, we've been friends for probably 20 years, and the woman is very sweet, has a heart of gold, means the best. She is late to everything, not even a little late. I'm talking, we meet for breakfast, she's 35 to 45 minutes late. That is her brand. I mean, it's become a reputation. All of us, when we meet her, they all say, oh, yeah, well, she won't be here for at least a half hour to an hour. So her brand, and when she comes in, it's always an excuse, and it's always like negative energy at first. And yes, I don't hang out with her a lot. She's sweet. Not, whatever. Anyway, so her brand is to be late, low energy, that kind of thing. So what is your brand? Meaning, for example, let's say you don't do social media for Mary Kay. You don't reach out to your customers much. You rely on PCP. You will send them a text, but you just really don't like phone calling them. You don't like phone calls. You don't want to bother them. All of that mental energy that you keep telling yourself. Ghosting social media, that's a brand. That is literally a brand saying social media is not my thing. Okay, well, maybe it isn't your thing, but you could make it your thing. And it doesn't have to be everything. Like, I'm a really private person, so I don't post a lot of personal stuff on Facebook. It's just me. I figure the people in my life knew that I went through a divorce, or they knew that I moved, or they know that I have a lake house, or they know about my kids. I don't need to post on social media, oh, somebody loved me and sent me a flower. Oh, this is my taco dinner tonight. I mean, that's just, and if that's you, that's fine. That's just not me. So are you ghosting? If it's ghosting and just not being present at all on social media, I'm saying I'd like to challenge you guys between now and Christmas to do a minimum of a post a week. Now, I'm going to close with this thought. On your personal page, your personal Instagram or your personal Facebook page that is about you as a person, right? It needs to be 80% about you and your life and only 20% about Mary Kay or your business. If it is your private VIP page where you are there to offer specials and do special things, that's when you want the opposite. You want 80% to be about education, deals, product info, scoop, prices are going up, just like anything you can do to be helpful to your clients, ingredients, 30-second testimonial, retinol, 8 different people that could possibly use charcoal mask. Like, your VIP page or your Mary Kay page should be dedicated 80% to that, 20% personal. So it could be like, man, I have to share with you guys my teenage son, blah, 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 his skin got so much clearer and I can't believe it, and he was so skeptical and yada, yada. That's personal, even though it is about a Mary Kay product, it is personal. Or you can say, I have to tell you, I got surprised by a getaway this weekend. I'm so glad I have a flexible job that I could just take off to Santa Cruz. Here's a picture of us whale watching. That is personal. It's letting them know, what do you do outside of work? Because you don't want your customers to know just Diane Covington, Mary Kay Beauty Consultant. You don't want them to know that that's literally all you do. Because, one, you don't sell your job. 2, that just looks boring, right? And that's where I have to realize, by me not posting, people don't know. Like, I will sometimes go a whole month and not post anything but a sunset. I post a new, I love taking sunsets at my lake house, which is hysterical because I probably have 40 or 50 pictures at different times, and everyone is the most award-winning. I go, no, this one's the best one ever. And then I go, oh, no, but one last night was even better. So, but that can't be all I post is sunsets at my lake house, right? Other than people know that obviously I go there because I'm taking sunsets. But it could be a picture of me with somebody at the lake, or me fishing. In fact, I posted a thing on Instagram of me throwing the pole over, and I'm just waiting because I can fish off my back seawall, and I posted that, and I got a ton of likes on my Instagram, and I'm laughing because I'm thinking, I didn't even catch anything, but I love to fish. I think fishing is super fun. Most people wouldn't think that would be, they go, you don't seem like the fishing type. I'm like, well, what's that supposed to mean? What's the fishing type? So, and honestly, what else do you do? So, like, I've gotten really back into reading because I'm just not a TV watcher. So I've gone back. My daughter has bought me several really good books over the last couple of years, and I have a few that I've been wanting to read. So I'm back to committing myself to a minimum of 1 a month, if not more. And so now then I'll post a picture of me reading it and saying, this turned out to be not the best book I've ever read, but it was interesting. Or, oh my gosh, this one really had a huge impact on me, and here's why. It's personal. So again, on my personal page, it's 80% about me and my life, 20% about business. And especially if the people in your life want to cheer you on, like, oh, we just qualified for a new pink Cadillac, I'm so grateful. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, you do want to put 20% about you or your business, about the business, and 80% personal, and then a flip on that. And then again, one last comment on the whole branding thing is be really aware this week of how you are coming across. Another thing I learned yesterday from actually Kristen Sharp, who's a national sales director, is this is totally off topic, guys, when she makes a delivery, and I thought this was so key, she puts a little note, like personal, little square, like 2x2 or 3x5 or whatever, little card in there that says, thank you for your order, or it could say thank you for your commitment to me and Mary Kay, or thank you for loving our product, and then it signs, love, Diane Covington, your Mary Kay consultant. And you put your name on there, because I will tell you, every time I do a booth event, like I did one 2 weeks ago at a spring festival, we had a table there. It's my favorite event. We probably got maybe 100 leads throughout the day, 80 to 100, and I had several ladies walk up to the table, and they'd say, oh, Mary Kay's here. And I said, yeah. I said, are you a fan already? Are you using it? And they go, oh, yeah, I use Mary Kay. I said, great. Who's your consultant? I don't know her name. Or they'll say, well, I had a consultant. If I had every $1, I must have heard that at least 6 times in that day. Oh, I don't have a consultant anymore. I said, well, what happened? Did you move? No, she just disappeared. I don't know. And I said, well, do you get catalogs from her? No. I said, well, do you get, is her sticker on any of your product? No. I said, and you never hear from her? No. And the lady says, but could I order some cleanser and some eye cream from you? I feel guilty filling that order because I didn't do the initial skincare class. I didn't do the initial work. But this woman is going to go to buy some other brand if I don't take care of her. So I said to her, I said, I'm happy to deliver whatever you need. If you find your consultant again and you want to go back, just let me know. Or if I can try to help you find her. And I even said to one gal, well, do you remember her name? She goes, no. And I said, do you remember what she looked like? Because I've been in the business a long time. I thought maybe I knew her. Maybe she's in my unit. She goes, well, she's about, a little taller than me. And this gal was pretty short. So I'm guessing maybe 5'5", 5'6". And I said, what does she look like? Brown hair. Do you know her name? No, but it was something really common. I'm thinking, oh, great, like Susie or Cindy or Jessica or Rebecca or whatever. And I'm thinking, I said, well, I can't, do you know what city she lived in? No. I said, well, I can't help you, but I'm happy to take care of you. Would it be okay if I sent you a catalog 4 times a year with a free sample? That would be lovely. I said, great. Give me your address, and then is there anything I can pop samples in the mail right away? She's like, really? So when you guys treat people, but that's my brand. My brand is about educating my customers. I want to be like an encyclopedia. Now, you may be listening to this, and maybe you haven't been in Mary Kay for very long. But guess what, gang? You don't have to know all that for 2 reasons. One is we have a medical staff in Dallas that's available to us. So when I got asked a question like, well, I'm going through chemotherapy, what do I need to do to my skin? I'm like, I don't know. So I'd call our medical relations department in Dallas, and they would tell me. And then I put that in my mental file cabinet, right? And then I would remember that for next time. Or they'd say, oh, I have eczema, or I have whatever, or I have rosacea. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do with that. So I would then ask the medical relations staff. The other thing I would do is if it's a product I really loved, I'd print out the product fact sheet. And here's the deal. On every product, I learned this from my father when he was alive in retail. Memorize 2 facts about every product. So when I was selling sporting goods as a kid, sometimes at that time I'd never really fished much, and I didn't know anything about fishing line. And they said, oh yeah, you need fishing line that has a certain pound test. I'm like, I don't know that. So again, you educate yourself. So be careful how you're branding yourself. What is your brand? Are you known as a fun, energetic person? Are you known as informative? Are you known as being unreliable? Are you known for being late? Are you known for being negative? Like, what is your brand? And you know what? Whatever it is, especially if it's not positive, it can be changed. That brand of whatever you are can become a very, very positive brand if it isn't already. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for listening. Have a blessed day.